And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Songs of Six. Our army is nearly trained back up to full 200 units. In fact, we might train a little bit faster if I were to deploy them, honestly. Because then we'd have more people in the town. And the ones that I think deployed don't go for refresher training. I'm less sure about that. Oh. You used to be freelance. So that faction has expanded into territory I was planning on taking. I don't think we're in a good place to necessarily fight another faction right now. So as we'd be going after this one then. Oh, that's 108. So yeah, if that's 108, if we can get our troops deployed to the army without too much fuss, then I think it is time to go deploying. Have your city troops join this army? Yes. Confirm. So in theory, our troops should be leaving the city to go join that army. Which does mean we're basically about to have 200 people leave the city, and probably 200 immigrants arrive to replace them, but that should be fine. It does look like we're at least, maybe for the moment, making enough rations to feed the troops in the field. That's good to see. Yeah, it's going to presumably take them some time to arrive, right? The empty army, or well, I guess they deployed quicker than I was expecting. Well, I did have the speed turned up pretty high, so maybe they did deploy quicker than I expected them to. Okay, so it's going to follow the roads, which isn't ideal, because that means we're going to end up trespassing again. The alternative... They've got an army of 77. We don't have enough to use that place. Okay, so we're just going to have to trespass here to get the next available decent target. Although I think that will be mostly fine. We may want at some point get a large enough army that we can go ahead and siege these guys down. This is a faction, not a free peoples, although this is a faction with one territory. We only have one real neighbor at the moment, Novaster here. It's only technically a 2-region area, although they've got some pretty decent garrisons, and of course they have their army sitting outside our territory. Should be a little bit prepared for that not to be a great thing going on, if we piss them off, but the moment we need to do any more trespassing on them at least. Yeah, we got 22 days of food. Let's turn up the food access again. Go from 1.5 to 2. Turns on the food stockpile a bit, but let's see how that works on the stockpiling. Should, in theory, actually reduce the decay of fish, because more of it will be actually being fed to people. You're pushing more onto things that store better. Form of eggs and vegetables. Okay, so this is them complaining about us basically trespassing, I believe. That's a lot more fish than I'd like to give them. But we'll go and accept. Yeah, I think that was them being miffed about the trespassing. Okay, we're getting a field battle. Speelhold, so they've come out to face us on the battlefield. I'm not going to auto-resolve because we're probably going to auto-lose the auto-resolve. I've had better result with our spearmen here commanding them in the field. Hopefully we succeed once again in the field. So there's our men. I'm order them to tight formation. It looks like they only got one block of enemy soldiers, which is fine. Okay. Sorry about that. Family was turning on some music in the room and would prefer that to probably not show up in the stream. So 108 enemies to versus 178 of ours. And we're spearmen in close formation. Not exactly sure how well equipped they are. It looks like they're also spear unit. Yeah, we got pretty comparable equipment here. So we'll just see who ends up winning the exchange. And then if we win, we just go waste each other's cities. Basically what's going to end up happening here. Let's turn the speed up here, because this is a pretty spear-on-spear battle. I think we have a larger formation, so this is something I think this is just going in our favor. We are physically just pushing their formation back. Trying to get the ranks closed up a bit more, but I think this is just functionally just a waiting game for us. The auto-resolve was basically assuming our guys would not perform as well as they do, in effect, usually perform. Our guys have a slight species-related bonus, and we outnumber them, so as long as we don't like break formation or do any really weird stuff, we should win. Now morale is holding. They're slowly losing men. Although we're slowly losing men. Here we go. The enemy has broken and routed. They killed... So we basically traded equally again, but we had more men, so that was a exchange ratio we were willing to take. I'm going to take the chivalry, so we're going to release them all. And then our army continues their march to the city. And we could technically auto-resolve it and lose 151 men in this assault, but we're going to wait them out. They're besieged. They've got 25 guys in the garrison. It's just a matter of time. Oh, we're heading back to the city. We did do that trespass. We were sending off a bunch of food. The decay, for some reason, is marked as positive. I'm not sure if that's really the case, or if we're actually selling off things, and that's the averaging being a bit weird. Expand the laboratory. Could expand the libraries. And I'm leaning towards expanding the libraries. At the same time, getting some more resources in from our conquest, I think, may be advisable as well. We're in theory food positive, so I'm thinking just waiting around, seeing if our food stockpiles actually stabilize at the current levels before I build up more farms. Although the farms presumably to expand would be the vegetable farms obviously, and probably more egg production. Those look like, are all the eggs adult? Are all the animals adults? No. So they're still not getting maximum production from the newest farms. So 27 v 26. So these should be getting about the same amount of eggs, and that's adult versus young. 67 for 9 workers versus 65 for 9. Yeah, more eggs, more veg is probably the way to go. If I want to expand production, although I am tempted to just finish off. We've got fisheries most of the way around the body of water here. I'm tempted to complete the rest of that body of water. I have a decent amount of housing down here. This was the other thing to do, is I could increase the laboratory, invest more innovation in food production. Oh, that's industrial crops versus agriculture crops. Okay. That's basic mining. Got 5 of the 10 potential levels there before we jump. I know it's still, regardless, it's still going to be innovation. There's the fishery upgrade. So we're actually going to go through lots of levels to get the fishery upgrade. So I wanted more leather, do hunting, but if anything, I probably want to move away from generating your own leather by hunting. Up here we've got all the innovation invested. Could grab pillars. Oh, that's all the innovation there. Military's got a decent amount. I could delve into archery or do improved soldiering. Or, again, I could do orchards. That would be a decent way to get fruit for making foods, I believe. This booze making is not fine crafts. It's refining, right? So that's basic brewing. Yeah. Two fruit, quarter of a unit of pottery, plus some coal. Makes booze. I believe we use that in ration maker. If we wanted to preserve the vegetables instead of fish. Yeah, that's how that worked out. Food stockpiling still supposedly trending down. We'll give it a little bit longer to... Well, before I was saying probably... Not sure if the game advances in this menu. So... And we've only been besieging for 4 days, so probably not. That's probably why the food hasn't... It's showing it's trending down. That's because we shipped a bunch in exchange for the blackmail. Yep, making enough to feed the troops in the field. Sounds good to see. Oh, people are consuming meat, which they normally wouldn't do. So we've obviously got a shortage of something out in the deployment. Just making them eat the meat. I believe our people here. Well, I've got them set so they're allowed to eat meat, but they're supposed to... They prefer... I believe they prefer fish. And veg. And eggs, obviously. It's the three they prefer. I suppose we could do furniture as well. Well, I'd probably do not furniture, I'd probably do, like, fish. Fish would be an interesting thing to initially do. Especially if I was thinking, yeah, we want to do more of the fishery expansion. Okay, these have hit maturity. Well, at least getting close to it, if they haven't. 100 positive yield there, 150 positive yield there. Yeah, so in theory, food production should be going. Eclipse has arrived. Okay. Oh, apparently have a cotton shortage. Okay, so I think we'll just duplicate what we've got going here on then. Get a little more herbs going, a little bit more vegetables going, a little bit more cotton going. There we go. And we do have people realizing that there can be supernatural events going on from their perspective. Isn't super important. You're providing enough water pressure, hopefully. No. Or actually, yeah, you are. We'll tack another 2 on there just in case the extended canal system isn't big enough. And hopefully the expanded farms here will provide just that little bit more vegetables. Don't have, Ooh, thunderstorm. Don't have 50 workers yet working in vegetable production, I think. Yeah, we're up to 45. Maybe after the new farms are done? No, we'll probably still be sub 50. Yep, looks like 49. Although we don't now have more than 50 farmers, just not 50 vegetable farmers. I might have to actually export gems. We're definitely overproducing it now that we're having it shipped in as a tribute. I do only have 1 stockpile of gems, so we're going to probably put the limit here pretty high at like 6% of storage for the export. And then once we have the setup, we'll go double check on the status of the siege. Export gems, and yeah. Something high, say 80%, and yeah, pop over to the siege. Okay, because we checked up on it, the city is captured. What shall the fate of its citizens be? These are toggles toggle on. It says you can enslave, loot, and raise. Just gonna leave everything toggled off. So we occupy them. And obviously everything's going pretty terribly right off the bat. Taxes we're just gonna set to nil. I am gonna assume that we can at least maintain the base level city hall. And we're probably going to go for some growth. Yeah, we'll assume we have at least one level of growth building there. We accept to build those two. That means the carrying capacity won't be super over the carrying capacity right away. Although some of the population will decline. And our fields out here our troops fielded out here, which is less than 200, we'll start to reinforce back up to 200. If we are able to reliably supply them in the field, we will go on and siege the next one as soon as this region is stable. Oh, and what does this region stabilize or specialize in? Probably should have looked before I... Gems, clay. Okay. More in gems than anything else. Okay, so we might be getting more gems coming in. Might have to find something productive to do with gems for revenue generation purposes. Hopefully, this is also a more larger carrying capacity region. So we can get more work out of it. This one's a little bit more diverse by the looks of it. We might intentionally do the first option there, so we get some hides coming in. I think that's the hide production building. Well, yeah, here definitely gems. Definitely gems is what we're gonna get. Okay, food's stabilized around 10 days worth of food. We've got a housing for 100, well, 200 more people. Let's let some more people move in. Hopefully this doesn't come to bite me in the butt too much. Oops, quite the expectations for that, apparently. Okay. Yeah, it may actually come to bite me in the butt. Next thing to be doing is working on services. We don't have service coverage for you over here, so we're going to go ahead and get another version of that. Oh, I didn't even build the biggest one there. Did I build the biggest one like everywhere except for the first one? That would make sense. Yeah, built the biggest one. Oh, I built a small one over there as well. Okay. Oh, I did a big one down here, but not elsewhere. Okay. Put one there. What is the coverage on some of our other services? They're probably lacking. Hearth should be pretty accessible. Speakers are accessible. Stages are accessible. Some of these I'm more surprised about than others. I guess enough people must be around, because we don't have like a stage or anything over here. There must not be enough people working over there for that to make a big difference. And we were able to stabilize at 1,300, so it must have just been, although the expectations still being undermet. Food's looking good, food's looking good, food's looking good. Let's go up another food serving. And then I think we'll get those guys slowly put to work expanding the fisheries. At some point we're going to want to be using this for furniture as well. So next we go up to there. Okay, so that's 8 fishermen. Not particularly large, but not particularly small. That would, in theory, work. So, 100 wood to build that. Get that built, and then we'll keep expanding. Out, out, and out. Probably get the rest of this fishing area designated as fishing. Oh, and I will... Are we trending up or down on clay? It says we're trending up, although I maybe don't trust it very much. Let's go ahead and take you to full. Not sure how quickly that will take to update. There we go. And then we're going to want like another 20 here. Here, figure that's positive. We may revisit that a bit. And then we can use that innovation for, I suppose, more fish or more eggs or something. Okay, that fishery is complete. Build another one. Can't make it so big that it covers both islands. We'll just do one island at a time here. So we'll actually, well, we'll do each as a separate place, but I'll get both of them going at the same time. There we go. Let this build out, let that produce more fish for us. So we can continue to feed our guys more and more and more food. Feeding them more food does improve the health of the city. You can see there we're getting 2 health from food servings. Okay, that one's done. That one's done. We'll leave those to higher up. take. This will drop the number of food days, but that's fine. We're going to go from 2.5 to 3, which is going to increase consumption, but that, again, is fine because we're increasing production. If anything, that's indication we need more eggs. So let's work on that next. I may at some point want to expand the woodcutting just to cover more maintenance, but things are fine at the moment. What's up? How's it going here? It's going pretty well. We're slowly expanding our number of lizardmen. Expanding their vegetable fields, their globidine pastures, and the fisheries, so we can feed them more and more food, even as we increase the number of people living in the town. Let's go check up on how have you gone about recovering. 87% proximity, 100% support, small amount of chance for raid, and the devastation has cleared up. Okay. So we got 272 people living here right now. So that's going to be the stable target location. To get the next level of village, we need 300. So we'll go ahead and increase growth. Yeah, we'll take us over 300. It's only take us to 300 something. So we'll take the next level of growth, and then we'll probably have to put most of what's left into whatever this place is going to output, which is probably going to be gems, based on what we saw earlier. How goes the resupply of the army? Up to 191 guys. And the place looks reasonably loyal. So let's march out to the next target. They are not appreciating us marching into their territory. We do outnumber them. It's going to be a closer battle this time. We will, of course, assume command because we do not trust the auto-resolve. Although we're not doing anything fancy as far as tactics is concerned. We've got one block of men that we're going to put in tight formation. And it looks like they've actually got 2 blocks of men, but it's basically one big block of men. Block of soldiers. Oh, actually, they got 3 blocks of men. That's guard. Advance charge. What is that one? Garrison, basically equipped as we are. Garrison, basically equipped as we are. And again, Garrison, basically equipped as we are. Okay, and now we just hold and hope our roughly equivalent troops here, because of our racial advantages, is enough. Information intact, exhaustion number, supplies. Nothing's really that bad for us. Whereas they've kind of merged all into one big block. They're starting to suffer exhaustion. Their formation is not intact. Yeah, this is something that's going to hold for us. Whereas we've just given enough time, I think we will win the battle handily here. We are just patient. Twitch chat saying I should get them some plate armor. Yeah, maybe we'll see about getting our army a little bit more creative than a spear wall with shields and leather armor. Plate armor would definitely potentially be an improvement. Even just more shields and more leather armor would probably be an improvement. We'll probably try something like that when we go to war with some of the factions. Right now this is our basically militia with jobs unit, which is enough to take these formations on. These sieges on. At least as long as we keep our cool and calm and stay in formation, the other side seems to just break their formation up, and that works out for us. Yeah, they've already lost over 30 men, so it's definitely going our way. Oh, there goes another one of the formations breaking. Just one formation versus one, so we'll order our guys to actually go on the attack against the remaining formation. Twitch chat saying some of the garrisons will outnumber you 50%, though they tend to be around 300. Yeah, it depends on the garrison. We went in with this army because we knew we outnumbered them. Not by very many, obviously, but we knew we outnumbered them. We did look at the garrison before we deployed for this campaign. So yeah, 188 units driven from the field at a cost of 118 of our own. going to be nice and release them all. And our guys go march into lay siege. 25 of the survivors do make it back to garrison the city before we arrive, but we will outnumber them for quite a while, or quite a bit at this point. It's not worth auto-resolving. Much like the field battle, the auto-resolve here is not favorable, so we must wait them out. It looks like the next city we would be going and invading would be 209, so we will have to increase the army size before we can march forward into more battle. 209, 174, yeah, definitely we have to increase the army size. We do have 20 replacements training up. At some point we might want to expand our training facilities. And or recruit from the world map instead of the local map. One of the two. I suppose I need to bring more people in. Yeah, I suppose I need to bring more people in. I'm looking at the fact we got like 34 odd jobbers free. So before I do much more fishery expansion, I should expand housing. Probably bring in like another... Oh, I suppose I don't need to expand housing, I just need to expand the number of people in the city. Yeah, that's 1400. Another 100 people come in. And we'll produce some more jobs. Storage in for this fishery. And then if auxiliaries would be good. Here we go. That should work. And we'll let that build out. Do a little bit of clear cutting in here to make sure we got some wood for the fishery expansions. The trees will grow back if I give them enough time. Not sure if we're going to be able to make what's left here one whole fishery, or we'll have to make it two. Probably two. Okay, that fishery is built. We do have plenty of people underemployed, so let's go ahead and continue to expand our fishery. Yeah, it's not all going to be able to be one. Given the fact that it's not all going to be able to be one, let's actually grow from right to left here. Because I want the storage further left. If I can help it. Biggest one, still on the work. There we go. That basically makes this area sort of our big private fishing lake area. We've still got more potential for fishery expansion, but we'll roll with that for the moment. Probably swap back over to doing eggs and farms. That's not enough food for continued food eating expansion. Twitch chat's reminding me, quick tip for fisheries, you can remove land at the shoreline to expand the fishing area. Yeah. I'm not that desperate for more fishing area because we've got two really big bodies of water here to fish on. But yeah, if we wanted more fishing area, we could do that. Or at least that was definitely a thing you could do in earlier patches. I'm not so sure if you can do it in this patch, but I have not fully mastered this patch. Okay, both fisheries are in. As you can see, we got a little bit of travel going on there. I might put a little bit of a road in to encourage some happy thoughts. So, and then I'll probably, this won't be a ideal field, but we'll shove a field in there probably. Double check to make sure the soil is reasonable. Yeah, that'd be a reasonable soil field. Field for soil, or soil for a field. Probably wants to be a big veg field actually. Let's shove a veg field in there while we're thinking about it. Or, might want to save some of the space for more pumps if I need more pumps. Yeah, we'll save the space next to the pump for more pumps. We'll make one big field like so. Make use of that empty space. Nice soil here. Well, actually, we're starting to hit the top right corner of it. We've got more soil up that way, and obviously the soil, even once we get into, I think this is till. Yeah, that's till. That would still be reasonably farmable. Want to stay away from the alluvium unless we're growing trees or orchards. That's one reason we've been leaving this area alone, is I want to use this probably for woodcutters to grow trees. And we just have a bit sort of swept up and around the stone mine here. Then we'll let it grow back in if we need more wood. Let's go check up on our territorial expansions. So you are up to 300 stably. So we'll go ahead and upgrade the housing to large village. I'll provide 7 more workforce. Here, it's either clay or gems. There's maybe an argument that for a variety of tribute, clay would be better over gems, but it's definitely going to produce more gems than it's going to produce clay. 8 gem versus, well, more value in gems than it's going to produce in clay. We don't have a very good source of mining gems in our city. We do have a good source of clay, so we're definitely going to value the gems more than the clay. So we're going to go gems here. Just going to accept that. We have a little bit of surplus workforce, but there's no way we're going to get the city large enough, I think, to house much more than that. We'll check up on the siege next. There we go. By checking up on it, we've concluded the siege. We will occupy. Turn the speed down a bit. Obviously, we know if everything goes according to plan. We want a level 1 and a level 1 at least. In fact, we probably want to do that at least. We'll invest that and see if that ends up being the stable amount. And no taxes by default right now. We'll see if that stabilizes. If that does stabilize over 300, and I think it will stabilize over 300. Yeah, target's 442. We'll be able to do basically what we did there. We'll basically be able to pick one industry and produce product from it. Leaning a little bit towards that product of leather. Although that's only 22 leather, so that's not a lot of leather. Would have hoped that to be more. I thought I were going to figure out a better way to get these cities to grow, because before I think some of this is, you know, this is the big area, but it's mostly desert. Mostly taking over desert right now. So we've got lots of little cities. Not very much potential to get them bigger. Yeah, lots of little cities. I think this is otherwise fine. You're positive by like 120. You're positive by like 120. You're actually negative, although we now have more people in the vegetable farm, so you should be a little bit more positive. Although you're negative because of decay. Yeah, we definitely could afford to feed our people some more. I think this only goes up to 4. I'm gonna pause it for a moment and check. Oh no, it goes all the way up to 5. Okay, let's not hit it that hard. We were at 3. I'm gonna go up to 4. Which is a 33% rise, and see what that does. Well, give it a little while for our people to consume more, figure out if that's stable. If it is, we may continue to expand. Oh, and thinking about it on the battle map, we are looking at the next city to be overrun being 217. So I do need to expand the army. I'm going to try recruiting... Well, is that actually recruiting from elsewhere? Or is that recruiting from the city we're currently seeing on top of? I think that's recruiting from elsewhere. Please use the conscript pool of your realm. Okay, that's what I want. So let's grab a detachment of humans. 150 humans. I'd like you to have some basic training, some basic armor, some basic pointy sticks, and some basic shields. Recruit. Given enough time, that will mobilize. That'll increase our forces enough. I think we can go lay siege to the next location. Hopefully that'll run hand in hand with the... Oh, I've been sitting here watching. The Oasis is actually ready. We upgraded to the next size. If I had more governing points. Fair enough. We haven't grown so large to get any promotions yet. That isn't so far beyond the pale. I could probably do that pretty quickly. Let's grab another bit of housing. And then we'll intentionally grow up to that next size. At some point I need to go around and do housing upgrades. So we get a little bit more higher density without having to expand the housing and take over more and more of our precious real estate. Okay, I will need more rations. Defeat the troops. It's the weavers, not the ration maker. .2 a worker. Looks like they feed the troops in the field. I'm gonna need 15 more workers. Okay, start with 10 more. What I may have to do is I may have to call back the primary army at some point. Let's expand herb fields to support that. Oh, I had the copier up. Don't copy, I want to build another. There we go. Okay. We are getting herbs from harvesting from the native area as well. But we'll roll with that. See if that's enough herbs once that's built. When I'm out of stone, so I'm going to set to clear some more rocks. Oh, that's trees. I want rocks. Like, I didn't remember the rocks being so close to town. Yeah, no, those are trees. Okay, let's see how that rolls. Okay, the housing is built. So we'll take the moment... specify that that's going to be the correct number of people, so the migrants move in. Fill up our housing. We'll see if we can actually get it stable at 1,500. We got the housing for them, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem there. There we go, so we actually did hit that number. More innovation, more noble promotions, more knowledge. Most importantly, noble promotions right now for admin reasons. So let's find our nobles, let's find our governor. and you're going to get promoted 1 rank. That should provide us with more admin on the world map. We're now up to 40, so we can now approve you. 1 tier. Now the question here is, do I go even bigger? Dump 5 into the 5 workforce in. That would take the just short of 600. 600 is actually what we would need for the next tier. Yeah, so we're not going to be able to reasonably go up another size, so this is what we're getting to. Oh, I don't actually have the tech for you. Although, we just picked up a bunch of innovation, so I could definitely pick the tech up for you. That wouldn't be implausible. Okay, let's go pick that tech up quickly. Pick up the Archon pastures so we can get some meat. The meat, arguably, we hardly don't need, but the ability to have those animals would be nice. In particular, we'd like leather coming in from that. And yeah, it makes 22.4 leather a day, which is comparable to large portions of our existing leather production. Yeah, comparable almost to the entirety of our hunters. Because of that, I will go ahead and logistics. We're going to put a holer over here. And the point with this holer is I'm actually going to set it to getting leather, so we have leather right outside the library, so one of our libraries can make use of leather going forward. Capacity of 80. And once that's delivered, we'll toggle you on. Title unlocked. Congratulations, you've earned this right to style yourself first of their name, gained by having a lot of happy people, increasing your starter population supplies in a new game. In your next playthrough or resettle, you will be allowed to select this title to boost your game. Each race you have unlocked this title with can make its bonuses more potent by an additional 8.3%. Current bonuses will be about 23.3 innovation and 2.6 extra settlers, I believe. Okay, so you should be receiving leather. Everything goes according to plan. And we do have some leather. Okay. So I'm going to take the risk. We're going to toggle one of these on. If my understanding is correct, the taxpayer from that place may also come and drop off the leather at this location. Oh, and our army is, in fact, ready, although we've let this bit go a bit long. now I'm looking at the Twitch chat. Let me respond to Twitch chat first before I bring this part to an end. But yeah, we're going to probably bring the part to an end, and we're going to continue recording, but it's going to be a short break between parts. Some of the garrisons will outnumber you. Okay, I've responded to that one. By the way, that was the fishery one. Oh shit, raiders came to my town with a few Argonash. Oof. Yeah, some of the, well, that's one of the things that's been working well for us is the lizard guys are a little bit better than, say, the humans at fighting. They're not the best fighters. I think the Argonash, for example, are better fighters. I think they're like giants. But they're definitely better than the humans. If we were Kryptonian, we need even more troops. That's one of the reasons we maybe actually been winning is I think we've been fighting mostly Kryptonian forces. So the next batch we're actually going to be fighting here. These guys are, in theory, I think pretty good at fighting. So we'll have to be a little bit worried because we're going to, while we'll outnumber them, we're not going to outnumber them by that many. But we'll see how that goes. That'll be next time. Now I've tried to respond to the Twitch chats. I think I got it up to date. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll have another part up for you tomorrow. We're going to record another 3 parts tonight, although I'll try to keep them under an hour each. We let this part go a bit long. We do need to improve the expectations in the town. Our people are getting a little grumpy. Although I'm doing what I can to keep them happy. If you're watching on YouTube, they'll be put up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, we're going to take a short break here. I'm going to go ahead and take an opportunity to go make a cup of tea. I've been running off of a can of soda that is very rapidly going to disappear here. And I think I need to replace it with something warm to keep the voice going. So until the next part, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.